Most e-commerce brands are optimizing their product feeds the wrong way, and as a result, they're leaving tons of profitability on the table with Google. So in this video, I want to go over my product feed strategy step by step so you know exactly how I'm able to scale brands to multi 6, 7, and nowadays even 8 figures with the right foundational approach and setup. And what I want to do is, first of all, I want to go over exactly an e-commerce brand where we did this approach. This is a brand under my Google Ads agency, Your Marketing. Essentially, we started work from the foundation up about 2 months ago, and we really focused on improving the product feed. And within the last 30 days, we're seeing some of the most massive improvements for this brand yet. Now, in the last 30 days, one thing I want you to look at is the overall CPCs. The average cost per link click dropped by 73%. Yes, that's right, 73%. And majority of the main campaigns, like the main performance max campaign, that's where a lot of the drop came from. And this is because this performance max campaign was solely going after cold traffic, and all of the products in here, which is essentially all the products in this brand, we heavily focus on improving. As a result, CPCs dropped by a hefty amount. We now go over to the cost per sale. That actually increased by $41. That's because we were scaling this brand up. But in relation to that, the conversion value increased by 19%. And that's because we were also showing this ad to a lot of a bigger audience, ideally those people who were more likely to actually purchase. And as a result, the ROAS increased by 4%. But overall, across the board, a lot of positive reinforcements and a lot of positive results. Now, if we look in the last 7 days, things are continuing to scale up. I mean, just within the last 7 days alone, we were able to drop the cost by 40%, and we were able to increase the CPCs to a little bit of an average amount. Now, let's go a little bit over where the product feed strategy really begins. And essentially, it starts in the back end. If you're using Shopify, one of the major apps we like to use this in process because it lets us go inside any individual product and then do further optimizations. However, you can do this with just about any app you use. It's regardless of what app you use. What I'm referring to is the product feed level information you're submitting. Our approach starts here. So essentially with the Google product category, we always want to ensure that whatever product we're selling, we're choosing a product category that's as narrow and as direct as possible. So essentially for this product, if I were selling, for example, a dog house, I would want to choose this as the product category, dog house, as narrow as possible. Moving on to custom attributes, things like color, material, size, pattern. These are essential for Google's algorithm to understand exactly what you sell so that it can showcase your product to the right audience. And then we move on to the detailed product characteristic. This is where we add things like the condition, if it's new, if what the gender is of that product, age group, etc. And then we get down to things like the unique product identifiers, things like the product labels. These are all things which are optional, but very important for the product feed strategy approach if you want to ensure everything is filled out properly. Once all of that information in the backend is done, once all the raw information is as accurate as possible, we now go onto the actual product level optimizations. And what I mean by that is the actual product itself. And what I'm referring to here is actually what your user sees on the front end level, this side of things. So the product images, the product titles that you submitted within Google Shopping, the pricing, all the Google Merchant Center programs, reviews, etc. Keep in mind your image is where 95% of your results will come from. So it's crucial you go after the right image, you use the right image. And oftentimes we like to go by the approach of doing the opposite of what our competitors are doing. So essentially, if a lot of our competitors are doing a white background image, we come in and we have a very beautiful real lifestyle image. Whereas if a lot of these are doing lifestyle images, we come in with a very beautiful, strong white background image. Once you have that in point, then it's about the product title. If you have the right keywords in there, if you have laid it out properly so that it's in proper English, but also where the highest search keyword with the highest search volume is more towards the front, where the lower search keyword is more towards the end, that's literally all you need to find success with the product titles. But that brings us to product pricing. In general, we want to be the average of our top 5 competitors in terms of our pricing. And in terms of the Google Merchant Center programs, you want to have things like the Google Merchant Center promo codes, or you want to have things such as the Google Shopping reviews. If we go over to a sample brand right here, where we can look further into the types of things that we can do, we can see that under things like marketing, there's the promotion section, which we can simply add a different kind of promotion within a given country and have our ad pop out that way. Or we can go to the growth section, go and implement all the things within the shopping experience scorecard program so that we get a top quality store badge. These are things which directly influence our ads and help make our product feed approach better. Once the image is on point, when the titles and pricing is all on point, once the back end is taken care of in terms of Merchant Center programs, that's when you have a complete product feed approach, which is now ready for the perfect Google ad strategy. Because keep in mind, at the end of the day, your foundation is key to scale. But if you're doing $40,000 or more per month in revenue, you need just a little bit of extra help scaling your brand to the next level. Go on to my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see how we can potentially work together and make that happen. But be sure to like this video if you found any type of value here, and subscribe if you haven't already and this is one of the first videos you're watching. And go ahead and check out this video right here on how to triple your ROAS with Google Ads with a few simple tweaks.